What is up, everybody? I am Nick, and I am continuing my ranking of all the kills in each Halloween movie. Today, we're focusing on Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. I've already done 1 through 5. We're going to continue all the way through Halloween 2018. So if you like Halloween ranking videos, I got a lot more Halloween ranking videos and a lot more Halloween content coming up through this Halloween season. So do me a favor, if you like it, hit that subscribe button. And now let's get into it. Alright, so Halloween 6. Got to admit, guys, I was actually a little surprised when I was going through the kills in this movie that all the kills in this movie are actually pretty decent. There's not really one kill that I dislike. Put another way, the kills in this movie are the least of this movie's problems. We all know there's a lot of behind-the-scenes bullshit that went on with this movie, so much so that there's both a theatrical version and a producer's cut. I am going to focus on the theatrical version. The producer's cut has some kills that are just a little bit different, which I'll touch on, but for the most part, everything's similar kill-wise. So just like in the past, I combined multiple kills in the same scene, which leaves us with 10 kills to go over. So jumping right into it at number 10 is going to be Tim Strode. And if you're wondering who Tim Strode is, that's okay. He was very forgettable as a character. He is Kara's brother, and John and Deborah's son. And he was killed in his house, the Myers house, after taking a shower. Just a standard throat slash. But what I like about this scene is, they kind of played up a little bit of suspense, actually. Michael actually hands Tim his towel, and, you see the fucking thorn tattoo on Michael's wrist again. But, it was decent. You got the classic horror movie trope of Michael in the mirror, but it was cool because it was all foggy, and then he slits Tim's throat. That's about it. Nothing too spectacular about it. That's probably why I put it last, because it's the least memorable, and you got a least memorable character, or the least memorable character in the movie, in my opinion. So that's number 10. Coming in at number 9, this kill is at number 9, second last, because I find it disrespectful to her character, and that is the kill of Jamie Lloyd. Now look, if you've seen the producer's cut, she dies a little bit different. In the producer's cut, she actually survives this kill and is shot in the head by the man in black. It'd probably fall in the same spot for me. Here, it's pretty gory and pretty cool as far as a kill goes. Michael impales her on that farming equipment and then, pushes her down and turns it on, and you see her insides kind of get scrambled. So as far as, the brutality of the kill, it's up there in the series as far as most brutal. But to do that to Jamie Lloyd was very disrespectful. I know it's not Danielle Harris. I get that, and that's probably why it doesn't piss me off as much as it should, but it still pisses me off, and that's why I have it at number 9. Moving right along to number 8 is going to be Howard Stern wannabe Barry Sims. And yes, I know they did offer Howard Stern this role. He basically is stabbed by Michael in his van. Might have been stabbed a couple extra times because he calls Michael a pussy. And right after he does that, Michael covers his mouth and stabs him. And then you get the cool scene of the little girl dancing under the red rain, as she says. It's raining red, and then Barry's body falls when Tommy and Loomis meet up. So not a bad kill by any means, but the ones above it are a lot more memorable. Speaking of ones above it, let's jump into number 7, and this is going to be Beth, who was dating Tim Strode. She is killed. She's basically stabbed repeatedly by Michael. And what makes this kill a little unique is she is on the phone with Kara, who is across the street at Tommy Doyle, Paul Rudd's house. And Kara sees Michael from behind. She's on the phone. There's someone in this room. There's someone in the room. There's someone behind you. And then Michael starts stabbing her, and she kind of catches it on Tommy's camera. Why that camera's there, well, Tommy, hey. It's just a cool scene. It's pretty unique in that respect. Obviously Michael just stabs her, and you got a lot of 90s cuts to it, which I'm not a big fan of. But overall, the kill is cool just because of having Kara across the street. So, coming in at number 8 is going to be the second kill in this movie, which I like to just call the drunken motorist. As you know, Jamie is escaping from Smith's Grove, I guess it is, the underground facility where the cult or doctors or whoever the fuck it is keeping her and her baby hostage. And, she gets in the car and, you got the guy yelling at her, drinking his beer in the rain and a raincoat. And, she's yelling something and he can't hear her. He's like, what? And she's trying to warn him. And all of a sudden Michael comes out of nowhere and just twists his fucking neck. And it's pretty brutal. So as far as brutality goes, I really like that. And I like the rain atmosphere. And then, Jamie drives off and she's chased by Michael. So cool scene. That's why it's at number 6. Let's get into the top 5. Number 5 is going to be Deborah Strode. So, after Loomis warns Deborah about whose house this was and what happened in the house, Deborah calls her husband, John, who we'll get into in a minute, and, basically says they need to leave, blah, blah, blah. And then, Deborah, is putting stuff away, and she's got an axe in some type of container. And, as she's scrambling, she sees the axe is gone. And, that makes her very nervous. So she starts running around. She loses her glasses in the backyard. And all of a sudden, Michael appears behind the laundry sheets with an axe. And there's that cool scene. I'm sure you guys have seen it, of Michael holding the axe. That comes from her death. And he swings, and you got blood fly all over the clean sheets. I like this scene. I like that it's during the daytime. Kind of has a very ominous feeling to it. And the callback to the sheets from Halloween 1978 is kind of what bumps it up a little bit for me, because I just love that scene in the OG. So that is number 5 for me. Coming in at number 4 is going to be Deborah's husband, John Strode, who is probably, I'm trying to think of a bigger one, but he is probably the biggest asshole in this entire fucking series. He slaps Kara. He is just a dick to his fucking wife. And Deborah, she's not the most memorable character, but she doesn't deserve to be treated like she is by John. As far as what we see, he's calling her, I don't know what he calls her, but he's basically calling her an idiot and he's basically an abusive husband, an abusive father, and just an all-around dick. But he gets his. Don't worry. He gets his. The lights go out and he's down in the basement looking for the fuse box. He's got his flashlight and he sees, the laundry sheets in the wash. Did Michael put those in the wash? I assume he did, huh? Interesting. Anyway, he sees that they're all bloody, and all of a sudden Michael appears behind him and he stabs John and throws him on the fuse box. And you see all kinds of sparks flying and stuff. And actually in the producer's cut, in one of the versions, I think it's the producer's cut, his head explodes. Maybe it's theatrical, but I'm pretty sure it's producer's cut. His head explodes. The head exploding is a little too much for me. That's why I couldn't put it any higher. But overall, it was nice to see this guy get his demise. So that's number 4. Coming in at number 3 is going to be the last kill in this movie, and that is going to be the doctor in the hallway, who Michael smashes his face against the bars to get the bars down. And pretty badass scene here. You basically got Tommy and Kara and Danny and the baby running away from Michael after he just massacres everyone, which we'll get to. But they're basically running away from him in the hallway, and Tommy shuts the gate on this doctor who's kind of falling and running, and the doctor's like, please help me, and Michael just takes his face and just smashes it against the bars repeatedly, and it falls down. Just brutal. And fun fact about this scene, the doctor in this scene is actually the father of the actor who is playing Michael Myers in this scene. And that actor is not George P. Wilbur in this scene. It's actually Michael A. Lerner, I think. But yeah, fun fact. But pretty cool scene just because of the sense of urgency and Michael basically speed walking. And it's one of the most pissed off Myers you've ever seen, at least until Halloween Kills, hopefully. But yeah, I really like this scene. And that's at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is going to be the Operating Room Massacre. Now, this scene is not in the producer's cut, but it is in the theatrical cut, and it's actually why I prefer the theatrical cut, or one of the main reasons I prefer the theatrical cut. This scene is badass. I realize this is when he's kind of in full-on, not the boogeyman territory, he's in Jason Voorhees territory. I give this scene a pass just because it's so cool. You know, Michael's kind of walking and the doctors are in the operating room and Michael sees all these weapons. He chooses a huge fucking blade, very Voorhees-like. Goes in there and then all of a sudden you see, was it Tommy or Kara kind of looking in. They see all the smoke around and all of a sudden, boom, there's bodies everywhere. And you see kind of strobe lights going and Michael just slashing and fucking cutting everything up in sight. So just a badass fucking scene. Probably the most badass we've seen Myers in any Halloween movie. Once again, up until Halloween Kills, I hope. But yeah, cool scene. Big fan of it. So that's at number 2. But my favorite kill in this movie is the very first kill we get in this movie, and that is the nurse, who I believe her name is Mary, that helps Jamie escape. So she helps Jamie and her baby escape, and then, she's got just pitch black behind her. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you see Michael emerge. You see the white mask, him walking, and the theme kicks in, and he picks her up, throws her head against the wall, where there happens to be a big spike on the wall. I don't know why there's a big spike on the wall. Plot, I guess. But just a cool scene. I love the way the mask just kind of emerges from the darkness. I know it doesn't exactly emerge the way the mask does in the OG, or even Halloween 2 for that matter. But I'm a big fan of this scene overall. It just kind of let you know, ooh, okay, we're back here. This is badass, Michael. And I love the way the theme kicks in. Even though I'm not a huge fan of this rendition of the theme, I like that it kicks in right there. And, Michael does the kind of head tilt. He looks a little fat in this scene. I'm going to give that a pass for now. But yeah, so that's my favorite kill in this movie. So what's your guys' favorite kill in this movie? There's a lot of good options. I'm very curious to know what you think, and thanks for watching.